I have been dying over here because I read the diabetes code. I was diagnosed with diabetes in October of 2021. I went the medication route. I picked up your book in November of last year, and I am no longer diabetic, following
Come
your
on.
eating way and intermittent fasting. And so I would say to Karen, I fast every week for 36 hours, and it
36 straight hours?
Straight hours. And it has gotten significantly easier. And my body, just all the stuff that you said in the diabetes code, is like, my body is so much better. I'm so much more sensitive to insulin. My blood glucose numbers are amazing. And my A1C, which when I was diagnosed was like a 12.8, is now like a 5.7. Yes.
What?
Wow.
Yes. You
That's
did that. So
crazy.
can I just be the founding member of your fan club? Because when I heard you were on, I was like, that's the guy. He changed my life. And I wish more people understood that you actually don't have to go the medication route, that you can change it through diet, and exercise obviously is a big part of it.
That's crazy. And I'm so happy for you, because really, if you think about the A1C number, so 6 is considered normal, 6.5 is diabetes, 7 is sort of the target, 9 is considered sort of out of control. So 12 is really, really high. So you went from sort of out of control diabetes, which everybody would agree, to non-diabetic. That's an insane journey.
And it happened so fast from November. And then I saw my doctor in January. So this really didn't, but I did stick to the protocol, and I really did the fasting thing. So I do a 16-8 and then the fasting weekly. And that has been huge. And when I was on the medication, my diabetes was poorly controlled. My numbers were all over the place, but they're not like that anymore. It's incredible.
It's incredible, because the thing about type 2 diabetes is that your body really has too much sugar. So if your body has too much sugar, if you fast, you're not putting sugar in, and you're giving your body the time it needs to burn it off. Well, when you do that, the diabetes just goes away. And in fact, up until 2 years ago, everybody considered type 2 diabetes a chronic and progressive disease, right? This is the crazy part when I wrote the diabetes code in 2018. Everybody, the American Diabetes Association, all the associations said it was chronic and progressive, meaning that they were telling you, every doctor, every nutritionist would tell you up to 2021 that you have type 2 diabetes, you will have it for the rest of your life. But of course, I said, no, that's baloney. That's definitely not true. Everybody knows it's not true. It's one of the biggest lies in medicine. And that's what I said about it in the diabetes code. And, sure enough, you're living proof of that. And 2, they wind up changing their tune because it was clearly not true. So they actually changed it, and they have criteria for remission in 2021. So in fact, now they're admitting that, hey, this is a reversible disease. You can get better from this disease. The key was that since type 2 diabetes is largely a dietary disease, you got to fix the diet, not give drugs, right? And
then the drug companies won't make money, Dr. Fung.
Right.
You're dipping in their pockets, Dr. Fung. Of course, we need this, and now they're using the Ozempic, right, as a weight loss medicine, right? So how do you reckon you wrote the obesity book as well as the diabetes code, the obesity code? How do you feel about that drug being used now to combat obesity?
It's a fine enough drug. So the essentially what it does is it makes you sort of have very little appetite, and therefore it's a lot easier to cut down what you eat or don't eat, right? So in fact, it's an okay drug, and it works quite well for type 2 diabetes. So, I don't have any problem with that. The thing is, though, in the end, is that you have to fix the problem, right? So if you have a problem, which is the diet, and there's too much processed foods, there's too much sugar, then you got to fix that. And even if you use that drug as a sort of a training wheel to get you to a proper diet, that's okay. But at some point, you want to take off those training wheels, right? And this is the big mistake that happened with, say, weight loss surgery, bariatric surgery. People thought, I'll just get the surgery. I don't need to fix my diet. right? But it's like, but it's your diet that caused all the problems. So then they,
Yep.
had workarounds, their surgery. So they all gained weight. And of course, very few people do the surgery anymore. A few years ago, my friend, the surgeon who does these things, he said, the most of the time I see people for reversing the surgery, not doing the surgery.
Wow.
So the whole idea is that you still want to learn about what is the proper foods, how to eat properly, like, something simple like a proper fasting period, like say 12, 14 hours, say even a 16-hour. Like as long as you sort of build that structure into your day, then you're going to be way ahead. If you're just relying on the drug, the minute you stop taking the drug,
Yep.
everything
Right back.
goes south, right? And that's exactly what happens in Ozempic and all the studies. What they do is they just give the drug, right? And of course, doctors love giving this drug because you just have to write a prescription and people are out of your office in like 3 minutes, right? And
Yeah.
you can,
And people don't want to change, really. They don't want to give up they don't want to give up sweets. They don't want to give up bread. They don't want to give up pasta. They don't want to give up rice. I just figured out that like there are ways that you can eat without having those things. I have a great diet and I'm not suffering. I lost 20 pounds off the bat. And I wasn't even trying to lose weight, and it all came right out of the middle. And then also my cholesterol and my high blood pressure also were correcting themselves. So it
Look
wasn't
at that.
Yes, it was treating it systemically is what I wasn't getting from traditional medicine.
Yeah. And this is what Ozempic won't do for you, right? So yes, it can make you lose weight because it's going to suppress your appetite, but it's not going to teach you what you need to know. That yes, sweets are not good for you. So if you indulge, just understand that they're not good for you, right? So that you can limit it, right? So the whole yes, you need a proper fasting period in a day, because if you're going to eat, you're going to put in calories. So you need a period of time in the day where you're going to use them, because otherwise it's just going in and not coming out. So yeah, I mean, it's sort of silly to think these days that when you think about the way that you lose weight, we used to say, oh, you need to eat all the time to lose weight. It's like, let's think about that for a second. How exactly is that going to work? Because it's actually impossible to lose weight when you're actually eating, because when food goes in, your body senses the food going in and says, okay, let's store it away, right? So it's sort of like, again, if you go to Costco, you get groceries, you put in your fridge. Now your fridge is so full that you can't close it. And then I tell you, the way to empty out your fridge is to go to Costco 6 times a day, or better, 10 times a day. You'd say, you're out of your mind.